Okay, so today it's Monday the 18th, and it should be about 6 something or a little before 6. I'm going to tell you what they're talking about. I'll go over something that they're worried about. It seems like they have the emotions, and they said they wanted to put their emotions on me. So they're worried now about people making the connection between them and famous people that they said were either victims or they victimized. And I believe that. I do believe that. I believe, they wanted me to think that this only happened to me. Then they said it only happened in the Bronx. But just based on tweets from other people in other places, I believe it happened, they said, in Eastern Europe years ago. So I believe this is something that they did to many victims. And they said just now something about perfected it on me. I don't know. The big concern they have is that they keep saying that they want me to confess to things on camera so that they will have them, because they said they wanted to keep this imaginary program that they had with themselves, pretty much, of me like feeling anger, guilt, shame. But doesn't that sound like a religious thing, which is what I'm telling you? When they talked about, religion and love, that's exactly what I think this was about, religion and love. How do you get people to do what you want them to do? You use something, you use a means to get them to do it. So if it's not love, meaning your love of yourself, love of your family, love of a relationship, they call it the honeypot, where something is tempting you to do something because you're attracted to something or someone, then you use religion, fear of God, voice of God technology, which is what this really is. And I'm going to title that voice of God technology. So if you have someone who's religious and you can convince that person to do something because God wants you to do it, or this would be the right thing by God. You use shame, you use guilt, you use someone's mistakes to manipulate them. It's easier to do it that way, especially when you have very young victims who, have to listen to an authority figure. So a young person doesn't, do his or her own thing. They have to listen to an adult, a guardian, a parent, a teacher. Someone who has power over them. So it's easier to manipulate a young person because that person would be manipulated by love, by religion, by the fact that there's an authority figure. Then you take that control over that person and then force that person to do the wrong thing. Get that person involved in a crime, get that person involved in something that's done wrong. And it's easier to then blackmail that person. They said a moment ago, you don't have to blackmail them. Yes, these people do use blackmail. So they use it even on a young person. So you would use blackmail. You would have the whole thing. They just said shebang. No, you put the whole thing together, and then you have that person. So they said they wanted me to confess to things on camera. Isn't that another religious term, confession? And they kept saying confession, confession. And that's my point. As I'm telling you the people involved, you get to hear the words and it matches to them. The stories match to them. Oh, they're going to cut me off. So how do you connect them and connect all the dots to this? By matching what they're saying, the stories, and how they phrase things. Then they let me hear their voices, so that made it really easy. But if you listen to that, they think me talking in general, like giving my opinions, is a confession. It's not a confession. People do it on television every day. And they thought that was my actual feeling about stuff. And they said, well, why would you say sometimes you just say things? Because sometimes when you're talking, you just say things. It's not your actual deep down dark secret or thought. You're saying it publicly, so it wouldn't be that.